Welcome to James's Model Railway, and today I'm going to cover ballasting. As you can all well know, I'm doing a small modular layout. When I say modular, I'm just doing a single section of a layout of some sort. And you would have seen the video where I, or not assembled it, but made the bed, the track bed, and laid the track on, pinned it down, and gave you what it would already look like as a module section, pre-done, the way I would be doing things. Today we're going to be doing the ballast. So as you can see, I've got a few things in front of you. I've got a bag of this ballast chippings, which is fine, obviously about £7. It's £11.99. This was from my local model shop, hobby shop place for model railways. I have actually put it into a smaller tub just so it's easier to work with. In this window cleaner or shower cleaner bottle, I have fairy liquid and water. That's obviously a light mix. And then I've also got a 50-50 water and glue mix, which, yes, I put it in a spray bottle and learnt the fact that if you use a spray bottle, you'll probably find that it will glue itself closed, so you can't work with it. I've also got a ballast layer track thing, which is pretty good. It's actually, it doesn't work too well with the set track stuff. It's really good. This works really well with, funnily enough, it works really well with the Streamline Code 75. I found this fits perfectly across that track. So with Code 100, it fills the top of the it goes over the top of the ties on the track, and so you have to brush a lot off. Whereas with the Code 75, it doesn't fill too much on the top. It just fills in between the ties, which is really good actually. So for Code 75, one of these ballast track things, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But we'll get on to the idea of going down. And in fact, forgot two other things that I've got. Three other things. I've got two different types of brushes. I've got a paintbrush, and I've taken one of my wife's makeup brushes, funnily enough, just to do the smaller areas, the lighter areas that need to be done between the points. And a syringe, because glue and that don't really go too well in a spray thing. Even if I cleaned this out with hot water, and it still doesn't want to spray. So I've got a syringe, which cost me 75p from a chemist, which isn't too bad. But we'll move on to the layout. So as you can see, this is the section of track we'll be working on. This will make some horrific sounds as it goes across the top of the track. Puts your hairs up on end, I do know. Funnily enough, we're not recording in my garage either. We're recording in my summer house. Something a little different, a change of scenery. Unfortunately, I brought this pot, which is just a bit too big to pour the ballast in. But oh, please don't go everywhere. It's going to go everywhere. I've just put it everywhere. Being this is a modular and it's Code 100 and it's not exactly on my main layout. This is just a little something, like an experimentation kind of thing. So it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, it'd be nice if it was. We'll put a whole load in there. So you fill your little ballast truck thing up. I'm just going to brush any excess away, just because yes. As you can see, I'm not going right to the ends of this. I'm just going to start before, just in case I want to add extra track or make this a larger bit of modular. I will be doing this whole section, this whole track hopefully, but it will take me a little more time. I'm just going to show you the basics of it. So with this little thing, all you do is you literally drag it along the track. As you can see, it fills over the ties, which on my Code 75 it doesn't do that as much. So you can pull it, you just slide it along the track, nice and, well, I say nice and slowly, just nice and easily, and it's just ran out, so I'm just going to just tap the thing so it fills all the area out that I've got. So we've just done a, you can see how small the section is. It's not the biggest of sections. So that was one load of this, just done what you can see here, which is probably, I'd say, probably a length of standard track, probably ST200 potentially. So you can just, if I just, there you go. So you can just about see how much it does. Now, you can take a light brush, a small brush. You can take a slightly larger one now. I'm going to try it with a larger one. The one I done yesterday, you'll see the one I've done before, or the one I did yesterday. The idea is just to brush the excess off of the top of the track ties, so there's none sitting on top of the track and none over the rail ties, because obviously ballast doesn't sit there on a main line, for it gets in the way of the wheels or the flanges of the wheels. So you just brush it off or brush it along. Obviously by brushing it along, it does mean you then get a little extra coverage. It means you can move across and cover more ties. So at the end of the day, you from the centre you can actually cover a lot more than you've got. So I will go back down the other way just to help it look a bit more even. I'll probably go like that and uncover the whole track. Not track, but all the ties, left and right. But you just brush along till most of it's off of the ties. Just keep doing it until you get it to the way you want it. I mean, if you take your time, there's nothing wrong with taking your time, because the longer you take, the better you're going to get it for yourself. And it is all personal preference. I mean, you can leave a little bit on the rail ties if you really want, you can, and that will add to the effect of it being a lesser used track. Whereas for me, I want to leave this track. I want to leave kind of tidier than all the rest, because this is probably going to be the main section in. No, this is going to be under a canopy, but we'll probably get round to that later on. It's probably going to be a diesel shed of some sort, a work shed. Not sure what kind yet, but it is definitely going to be a work shed. So we'll keep brushing this along till we just get it all off the ties. So it's nice and neat as well. Dabbing it doesn't seem to help much. The smaller brush I tend to find works a lot better for working down these side bits. It also helps pad down the ballast down the side, so it's not so raised up. It does give it a bit of a funny look sometimes if you're not careful. But as you can see, nice little strokes, just to take the ballast off of the track ties. I keep calling them track ties. I'm probably calling them the wrong thing actually. Off the sleepers. Because the track ties are the things that are holding the track to the sleeper. So it's the sleeper, but you just brush it so it's not covering the sleeper, but enough for it to look like it's realistic. I mean, you can go down the edges if you want, just to push it back up a bit, but it's pretty much what you do here is take it away from the track so it doesn't interfere with, and there's a little bit here that needs to be moved, and there. But you just take it away from the track tie, ballast. Take it away from the sleepers, and you be nice and gentle. The gentler you are, I think the better you get, the better the look you get from it, and the more time you take. If you rush it, it's going to look rushed. I mean, to be honest, that's slightly rushed, and it probably most modelers would say actually no, that looks quite rushed, but it doesn't look too bad, to be honest. I'm just tidying those edges up a tiny bit. See, this side doesn't have to be done so much because when I had the bigger brush knocked most of it down. So what you do after that is you then get your washing liquid water spray. Now I will say you want to be really careful on doing this. You don't want to spray it really hard, because if you spray too hard that will blow all the ballast away or move it about, and you don't want to do it too, like, you don't want to have it move about. So I just nice and gently just give it a bit of damp just to break the surface tension on it. Now I would do the same with this one, but I can't. In fact, I should have really brought a little bottle with me so I could fill it up. Unfortunately, donkey brain here forgot. So I might have to try and syringe from inside the bottle, if that's even possible, which it just about is. So the other one is, when you're putting the syringe of glue in, don't be shy. Put a lot in. This, because it's dry, when the glue dries it will dry clear, so you just want to put a fair amount on. Don't be afraid. The glue will dry clear, but it will soak down into the ballast as well. That's the idea of the washing up liquid and water, that's to help it soak down into the ballast. And in fact, you can see it happening where I've put some on. You can already see it already trying to soak down. And then obviously just do down the sides, just nice and easy. This is first time I've used a syringe to do it, so I haven't used a syringe before. I used it. Don't worry if you go over as well, because if you go over it's fine, it will dry clear. So that's pretty much all you do. I'll just do the other side so I don't leave it. Oh, shot across. So you just, if I do it this side so you guys can see, just nice and gently. And if you can get a consistent gentle push out, see, this should, I don't want to get too in the way. You see, I'm moving the ballast there by being too strong on it. But as you can see, already most of that glue is already absorbed into the ballast, without having to, oh, it's not going to work. As I say, I then shoot it across the entire layout almost. So you can see it's pretty much soaked up everywhere. I've just got a few little sections I want to make sure I definitely got. So that's now all glued. If you leave this about 24 hours or around that amount of time, what will happen, that will dry out. Obviously you can use any glue as long as if you use a cork or this stuff, track bedding, you probably get away with using any glue or adhesive. Because I'm using a plastic, I've got to be careful what types of glues I use, because if I use so I can't remember what type of like contact adhesive glues or stuff that will melt the glue, the things with chemicals that will melt glue and plastics, I've got to be careful because that will melt. So I'll show you what this looks like once it's dried, because I've done it. And so here's the one I've done yesterday. This was done last night, as you can see. The ballast in there, nice and solid, won't break away very well. I say it won't break away, it probably would if you give it enough time. I did go up to a point. I did with the, oh, my camera's gone weird. Let's just tighten that up. With my tripod even, with the point I did have some problems, as you can see. I don't know if you can hear, but you can hear the ballast moving and grinding. So I did have a problem coming up to this point and ballasting. I've got to learn a new technique of doing it, or just brushing it on, or applying it with a small spoon or something like that. But the point is free to move, it can move. I haven't quite glued up to the point. I left most of it because I was a bit concerned about putting glue near the point and everything. But if you let it dry for my camera, my tripod even, can you please stop doing that? So once it's dry, I mean, it's fairly solid, it's quite good. And as you can see, I mean, it doesn't look too bad. So that was my way of doing the ballast. Obviously you can see on here where I've really not looked after how I put the ballast on, so you can see there's ballast all on the track sleepers. So this was obviously my first attempt. This second one's my second attempt, so it's got a lot better from what it is and what it will be. Let's move the camera. So the second attempt is that, which looks a lot. This looks an awful lot better than the other one, with my camera slowly moving out of shot, which is really irritating. But I'm having to hold it still. But this will, once this dries, it will be just like the other one. So thanks for watching. I know this was a slightly longer video and a tutorial on how to do on how to put ballast down. I just thought it'd be a nice little video to upload for you guys, just to see how I do things, and if you do it any different, you know, leave us a comment, give us a like, and thank you for everyone that's subscribed. Nearly 200 subscribers. Thank you very much, guys. Catch you later.